In this video, I'm going to be building the best possible team right now in NBA 2K23. My team, let me know in the comment section down below. After you guys see the team, let me know what you guys would change about it. And obviously, let me know what your guys' best possible team in the game is right now. And obviously, let me know what you guys would change about my team. But at the starting point guard position, I do think the new best point guard in the game is going to be the new Galaxy Magic. I will talk about the other point guards and why I do think Magic is a little bit better. But looking at Magic here, stats and badges wise, he's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. So obviously, going to have some really good height for the point guard position. And then looking at his stats, I mean, this card's going to be super well rounded. 88 3 ball, 92 mid range, pretty fast for a 6'9" guard, 94 speed, 94 acceleration, good at going to the basket with a 90 driving dunk, and going to be a very good defender. Like, this is the year where Magic Johnson is one of the best point guard defenders in the game, having an 80 block, 90 steal, 93 lateral quickness, 91 perimeter, and an 88 interior defense. So all around, Magic Johnson going to be an amazing defender, great with the ball in his hands, having a 94 ball handle, 94 speed with ball, and having tons and tons of Hall of Fame playmaking badges like Unpluckable, Quick First Step, Killer Combos, Hyperdrive, Hails for Days, Dimer, Clamp Breaker, and Angle Breaker as well. And then the crazy thing about Magic Johnson is the fact that they gave him this Steve Francis size up, so now this card can actually move really elite on the offensive end. And if I'm not mistaken, on his pink diamond, did he not have Magic Johnson dribble style? He did, so now he has some way better sigs. He's got the MJ dribble style, which is one of the best dribble styles in the game, and before he only had the Luka Doncic escape, and now he does have the Kobe escape, which is one of the better escapes in my team. And he also still does have the Dame behind the back. And if you guys have used Magic or played against Magic, you will know that Dame behind the back when he's running in transition is one of the best moves in the game. And now he's got his jump shot on quick timing. So if you thought the pink diamond was good and you thought the pink diamond was the best point guard in the game, this Galaxy Opal is just 10 times better than the pink diamond version. So for me, I do think he's the best point guard in the game and going to be our starting point guard. Now, this is probably where things do get a little bit controversial. In my opinion, I do think Ray Allen is the best shooting guard in the game, and I think especially next to a guy like Magic Johnson. I'll explain more once we get to the bench and talk about our backcourt on the bench as well. But Ray Allen, I just think offensively next to a guy like Magic is going to be a super elite backcourt, because Magic can still handle the ball and go score his own buckets. But then you got Ray Allen, who's only 6'5", so that's why we're running a taller point guard. He does have a 6'8" wingspan, and I think a pretty good player model in game. But this card offensively is one of the best offensive cards in the game, and maybe even be the best 3 hunter in my team. He's got a 99 3 ball, 98 mid range, obviously tons and tons of Hall of Fame shooting badges like Deadeye, Limitless, Corner Specialist, Catch and Shoot, Blinders, Amped, Agent 3. He's very fast, he's good at going to the rim. But then when you go to the animation screen, this is where Ray Allen, in my opinion, becomes the best shooting guard. Is when you look at his animation screen, he's got his jump shot, which is already really good on quick on his pink diamond. Like, if you look at his pink diamond glitch, who was a really good shooting guard when he came out, he already had his jump shot on quick timing, and it was a very, very good release. And then now on the Galaxy Opal, he's got his jump shot on very quick timing, so it's going to be a super fast jump shot and very easy to green. And then you look at the dribble sigs, they gave him the MJ dribble style, the Steve Francis size up, which once again on Magic Johnson is one of the best, if not the best dribble style in the game. And he's also got the Kobe escape and the Dame behind the back, just like Magic Johnson. So I mean, these two guys in the backcourt going to be very good defense with Magic Johnson and height. And then obviously offensively, they both got the Steve Francis size up, both have the Dame behind the back, and going to be very good offensively, especially with a guy like Ray Allen. Now, talking about the small forward position, I do think Tim Thomas is still the best small forward in the game, even though I think his time is coming to his time is probably coming to an end soon once we get like a Dark Matter LeBron, or even Opal LeBron, or Opal Giannis, or Dark Matter Giannis. Once we get these cards that can play the small forward spot, I do believe Tim Thomas won't be the best small forward in the game. He'll still probably be like top 2, top 3, and a very good card, because he still is a super elite card. He's 6'10" at the small forward spot, has a 7'2" wingspan, amazing all around stats. The only problem is his badge count is getting a little bit low. Like, he only has what, 8 Hall of Fame badges. And like, if you look at like Pippen, for example, right, an Opal card that just recently came out, he's got what, 29 golds and 15 Hall of Fame badges, and he can hold every single badge in the game. Where if you look at a guy like Tim Thomas, he's really limited to the badges you can add to him. So I feel like, you know, if you could give this card maybe actually no, he can get pretty much all the badges, but you can't upgrade his Limitless to Hall of Fame. That stuff, for example, there's some badges like Hails for Days you can't upgrade to Hall of Fame. You can't upgrade greatest clamps to Hall of Fame as well. But Tim Thomas, like I said, I still do believe is the best small forward. And then at the power forward position, very obvious in my opinion, I think KG is easily the best power forward in the game. I know Dirk is really good, Yee's really good, Chet, you know, even that Karl Malone, Bob Nedelecki, those guys are still super elite, and obviously some of those guys will be on the squad, but I do think KG is just head and shoulders above every power forward in the game. He's just so elite at the power forward spot. He's 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan. I just think stats and badges wise, he's probably one of the more complete cards in the game. He's got an 89 3 ball, 93 mid-range, 91 speed, 91 acceleration, very good all-around defensive stats, having a 97 block, 95 interior defense, and also having a 90 steal and a 90 perimeter. So I mean, this card's one of the best all-around defenders in the game. He's good at finishing around the rim with an 85 standing dunk, 95 driving dunk, amazing Hall of Fame defensive badges including anchor, box out beast, brick wall, clamps, interceptor, post lockdown, rebound chaser. They even gave this card Hall of Fame claim breaker and quick first step as well. So I mean, this card's movement is actually super elite for your power forward. He's got the MJ dribble style, he's got the De'Aaron Fox size up, which is one of the better size ups in the game. Also on cards like Kazi Russell, Terry Dishinger, Vince Carter, these amazing, you know, moving shooting guards, is going to be on your power forward, who's mainly here for defense. And then he's also got the Kobe escape, which is a very solid escape. And then the craziest thing about this card is the fact that they gave him the LaMelo Ball base, which is obviously on cards like Tim Thomas, LaMelo Ball, Kazi Russell, and I do think it's one of the best bases in the game. So this KG card is an absolute demigod at the power forward spot. And then to round off the starting lineup for the best team in the game, it's obviously going to be that man, the Don, Galaxy Opal Yao Ming. I mean, he's just the best card in the game. I don't even really have to look at his stats and badges. You guys know by now, if you've been playing my team, easily the best card in the game, and obviously going to be our starting center. Now off the bench, this is where things do get a little bit interesting, and I feel like this is where you could kind of go a lot of different ways. If you want to go with James Harden, you know, maybe at the shooting guard spot next to a guy like Ben Simmons, I have heard running this in the backcourt is actually pretty nice, because you got Ben Simmons to obviously be your lockdown defender. He's going to give you really good height, but then in game, basically you have Harden at point guard, and you could put Simmons like on their small forward to power forward, and then you can move your small forward to your shooting guard. But Ben Simmons, it's a little bit complicated. I'll probably explain that a little bit more. For me though, is this the best combo with Ben Simmons and Harden in the backcourt? I think there's a lot of different things you could run, right? You could go Vince Carter as well, right? He's obviously still a very good shooting guard. I'll explain about Scottie Pippen here in a second, but looking at Ben Simmons, obviously a 6'11" point guard with a 7-foot wingspan, going to be one of the best all-around defenders in the game, just because he is 6'11" at that point guard position and has very good defensive stats, you know, 90 block, 94 steal, 89 perimeter, and an 86 interior defense. Also does have that Hall of Fame clamp breaker and quick first step badge, which is really nice to have, and obviously some very good defensive hops like anchor, challenger, clamps, glove, menace, pick dodger, and post lockdown. Really good at going to the rim. My only flaw with this card, pretty obvious, but it's going to be that 65 3 ball and no shooting badges in the game. But if you give him some shooting badges and you give maybe like a coach and a shoe boost, this card can green pretty consistently if he is wide open. And I believe he also does have the normal leaner. He does, so he can shoot those normal leaner fades, which is obviously really nice to see. So for me, I think Ben Simmons easily going to be the backup point guard. For me, it just really comes down to who you want to run at that backup too. Do you want to go Vince Carter, even a Terry Dishinger, James Harden? I think I'm gonna go Vince Carter. I think he's slightly better than a guy like James Harden. I do think at least at the shooting guard spot, Vince is a tiny bit better. He's 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. A very good offensive card, like 98 driving dunk, 98 vertical, and I do think he's one of the best shooting guards to pair alongside Ben Simmons, because obviously Simmons not going to be the great offensively, and that's why we have a guy like Vince Carter at the 2. Now at the 3, I do think the second best small forward in the game is actually going to be this Scottie Pippen, and I do believe Pippen is actually a better small forward than he is shooting guard. I just feel like he doesn't really have the playmaking and the scoring ability to be a top shooting guard in the game. Obviously he still is probably top 3 or top 5 at the shooting guard spot, but I do think he's actually a better small forward by a decent amount. And you could even argue, you know, for play style and what you want to run, you could honestly maybe even start him over a guy like Tim Thomas to give you a little bit more defense on the starting lineup and a little bit more offense off the bench. But for me, I'm gonna still start Tim Thomas and have Pippen off the bench. But look at this Pippen card, such an elite 6'8" small forward, has amazing defensive stats, 98 steal, 98 lateral quickness, 98 perimeter, and a 91 interior defense, has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner specialist, 92 3 ball, 90 mid-range, has a very good jump shot as well. So for me, I think Scottie Pippen gonna be the second best small forward, and I would run him off the bench next to guys like Vince Carter and Ben Simmons. Simmons. And then the backup 4, this really comes down to preference of who you like at the power forward spot. For me, I think Dirk is the second best power forward in the game behind KG, but obviously, like I said, there's guys like you can run. So if you want to throw him at the end of the bench, you could. If you want to run a guy like Chet, I think he's another really good power forward, and some other guys as well. So those are some other options, but for me, I do believe Dirk is the second best power forward. And then to round off the best possible team, guys, once again, at the center position, there's a bunch of options you could go with. For me, I do think it's David Robinson. I do think he's the second best center, but obviously that Olowokandi guy from the Spotlight Sims, he's a very good center. Even some people are saying like Marc Gasol is really good, and I do like Marc Gasol. He's a very good center. Is he better than D-Rob? Probably not. I would still take D-Rob over him. People are saying Pau Gasol, he's another really good center option as well. You could definitely run him too. I feel like there's a lot of good centers, and I might be missing a couple. I think I might be missing one that I can't think of, but those are some other really good center options. But for me, I do think David Robinson going to be our backup center. Once again, I think the only thing I might change about this team, at least in my opinion, is going to be that James Harden over Vince Carter. I feel like it's really depending on what you want to run, because Harden is better as like a primary ball handler because he is a point guard and a guy that can truly run your offense. But if you feel like you can still score the ball enough with Vince Carter being your main offensive guy, then I do feel like you should put him in, because obviously he's going to be a way better defender. But let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys, honestly, you could do this as well. This is not a bad option too, because Ray Allen next to Ben Simmons, like he can definitely run the offense. So there's a bunch of different things you can do, kind of mismatch in the lineups. Maybe you want to start Ben Simmons and Ray Allen as well. A bunch of different combos you guys can do with this best possible team. But let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys change about my team, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.